What is up, guys? Now, before you get knee-deep into the following video, I've got one massive favour to ask you guys first. Now, if you didn't know, I'm a part of the Boro Breakdown podcast, where me and three other absolute legends discuss all things Boro every single week. And for the third year running, we've been shortlisted in the final of the Football Content Awards. Last year, not only did we make the final, but we won the Bronze Award and were officially awarded as the third best EFL podcast in the country. And this year, we've been shortlisted once again. So this is how you vote. Simply go to the Football Content Awards website, which is footballcontentawards.com/voting, and in the list of categories, simply select Best Club Content Creator, and then in the Football League section, select the Boro Breakdown podcast. Once you have done, scroll all the way down to the bottom, tick the T's and C's, click Vote Now, and your vote is in. It would be massively appreciated for us if we could pick up another award and maybe go one step further this year. So a huge thank you to everyone who maybe possibly voted for us to get shortlisted into the final in the first place. But if we could have one more push to hopefully win another award, it would mean the world to us. So yeah, get voting and hopefully we can come back with another award for the Boro. After a much more impressive and improved performance at the weekend by Boro, can they back it up by beating the Baggies? What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and another episode of the Project Boro preview show. Today we're looking ahead to Boro's midweek clash against West Brom XI, which of course is going to be the toughest test, I believe, so far this season. Boro off the back of a win against Stoke, which I did review here on the channel, which you can find on the YouTube channel. You can also listen to this and all my other Project Boro review and preview shows on your chosen podcast provider. If you'd rather listen to them on the go, links are in the description. But West Brom are a side who did lose at the weekend. They did lose 3-2 to Sheffield Wednesday. But for me, still, West Brom have been the standout side, the best team in the league this season. They sit top of the championship after 7 games, 5 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat, scoring 12 and conceding 5. Interestingly enough, 3 of them 5 goals came in the last game. So over half of their conceded tally was in their last game against Sheffield Wednesday. Prior to that, they'd only conceded twice in 6 games, which is pretty ridiculous. However, if there is one crumb of comfort for Boro, the 5 games that West Brom have won this season have came against QPR, Stoke, Swansea, Portsmouth and Plymouth. All of them teams together have an average position of 17th. So although it looks like West Brom have had a good start and they've won 5 games, and yes, you can only win what's in front of you, they have beaten teams you could argue they should be beating, and they have dropped points against Leeds, which isn't surprising, and Sheffield Wednesday, who are a tough team when you head down to Hillsborough. So I think, West Brom, let's not take any credit away. That's me trying to look at their great start to the season in a positive manner from a Boro perspective, but West Brom have still been a very, very good side this season. They're still a team I personally really, really like. I've made videos on this YouTube channel about how high I am on West Brom XI, how for me they look like the biggest challengers to be a top 2 finisher this season. I've waxed lyrical about how much I love Carlos Corberán as a coach and how much I would love him at Boro. He was my choice for Boro's manager before Michael Carrick come in. So much admiration for this West Brom team and what they do and how they play. And they've played extremely well this season. If we look at a few of the stats for them, I think they back up just how much of a solid outfit they are. They're 4th in the championship for goals scored with around 1.7 goals per game. They're also 4th for goals against, conceding less than a goal a game at 0.7. They're also 4th for XG, which is around 11.6 goals, and they're 20th for XG against at 6.5. So they are up there for being one of the best teams in the league defensively and offensively. However, Boro do beat West Brom in each of their metrics. Boro have created more and conceded less in terms of chances this season. So I think you could then say and argue the big difference between the two sides is in both boxes. Boro are just as, if not better, than West Brom creatively and defensively, but West Brom have been more clinical in terms of their goal scoring and have cut out the stupid individual errors that Boro have done and have committed this season. West Brom are also third in the league for clean sheets with 4. They're yet to concede at the Hawthorns, which I think is a big stat that Boro have to take into consideration. They are a very, very good team at home, and they're 5th in the league for possession with 55%. So they are a team who I think under Carlos Corberán in past seasons have had less of the ball, but have certainly evolved into a team which under him like to have the ball quite a bit more. And that's the really intriguing thing about this game, because we've come off the back of a win where I think we've found a few things that I think we'll take into the next game. I think we've found a few little things with the front four that I think makes us a better team going forward. And West Brom will have certainly had things to think about with the 3 goals they conceded against Sheffield Wednesday. So the approach will be interesting because Carlos Corberán is an incredibly clever manager. You know, he's very adaptable, he's very intelligent, he's very tactically capable of switching things up and outthinking the opposition. He is just a brilliant manager all round. So I'll be very intrigued to see how he balances the approach to this game out. You know, will Carlos Corberán approach this game with the thought process of just getting his team back on track, ensuring that they get back to doing the right things, get back to winning ways, and just focus on beating Boro? But how much of his setup will be nullifying Boro and doing what a lot of teams have done this season, which is set up in a way that stifles Boro? So I think it's going to be very intriguing to see how he sets up, because we saw Sunderland do it, you know, last weekend or the weekend before last, where even at home they were happy to gift Boro possession with the confidence that they could defend their box and limit Boro from goal-scoring opportunities. And I wouldn't be surprised to see West Brom do the same, but would I be surprised to see West Brom being a side that are 5th for possession in the league this season at home after a defeat allow Boro possession, allow Boro to dictate play? I'm not too sure they will, if I'm honest. So that could play into Boro's hands. If West Brom feel like, no, we're the better team, we're at home, we should win this game, we want to win this game, we're going to play our way, that could certainly feed into Boro's hands and be a benefit for Boro. And we've seen many times this season already when teams do that, Boro often do capitalise by being very creative and hopefully very, very clinical. So the approach from a West Brom point of view is going to be extremely intriguing, I feel. Looking at their team, I'm not going to look at the 11 that they had against Sheffield Wednesday, because I heard a few rumours and mutterings that they kept a few players back from starting that game, maybe with the Boro game in mind. So that might tell you a lot about the importance that West Brom and Corberán has on this game against Boro, or maybe it was just rotation, coincidence, I don't know. But I'm going to look at the team they had that beat Plymouth, because I feel like this is probably more likely their starting 11, and there's just quality throughout the whole team. You know, really reliable, solid championship quality. You know, they've got a very good goalkeeper, Alex Palmer, who, you know, is a fantastic goalkeeper and has been a big part of West Brom's solid defence this season, but he is backed up by a very, very strong back four. You know, Darnell Furlong has always been a solid Championship right back who will certainly give us problems going both forwards and backwards. Ajayi and Carl Bartley are a very solid, reliable Championship centre-back pairing. We've seen some real in-form players in the West Brom midfield. Boro know all about Alex Mowat, who's scored 3 times this season and has had a fantastic start. So he's a player who both will be great in midfield at keeping possession and keeping West Brom ticking, but he's not a player we want to allow time and space to have a pop, because he's been banging him in recently. So he's a player to watch out for. But I think, as much as you've got John Swift, who scored against us last season and is a fantastic creative player, Callum Grant on his day can also be a goal scorer at this level. The two players I simply have to focus on are Tom Fellows and Josh Maja. Now, Tom Fellows, maybe more expectedly, West Brom fans tell me if I'm wrong, expect him to be a threat. I expect him to be a very, very tricky customer, but he is the top assister in the Championship so far this season with 5 assists, and that's going to be where I think the game could be won and lost from a West Brom point of view, because their strongest wing, their strongest creative area is the right-hand side. Borough's weakest defensive area is our left-hand side. And the way we like to play, obviously, is with our left-back offering us width, with McGree tucking inside, Borges committing forward. It's a risk to do that against West Brom, because Tom Fellows is an old-fashioned winger, if you want to call him that. I think it's going to be really fun, actually, to see him on their right and Ben Doak on our right. Seeing 2 old-fashioned right-sided players really give their opposite fullback a nightmare. But I think Fellows could really be the difference in this game. And if he gets the better of Neto Borges and is able to get to the byline and put them really good balls into the box, which we've seen him do a lot this season, Boro could be in bother if we allow Fellows to do that. So I don't know if that means that we have to be a little bit more disciplined with how we play down our left, and maybe Neto Borges is going to have to be a little bit more defensive. But even then, we saw what Patrick Roberts did to him a week ago at Sunderland. Fellows could do the same. So as a Boro fan, my biggest concern absolutely is the attacking quality from Tom Fellows. And then, of course, there's Josh Maja, who has been a revelation so far this season. You know, he's almost doing a bit of a Chuba Akpom, to be honest. You know, he's never been a prolific goal scorer at this level. I think he was a decent player at Sunderland when he first sort of broke through there. But this season, so far, 7 goals already, top goal scorer in the league. And a lot of them goals have come from crosses from Tom Fellows. The number of goal contributions between the two that they've both contributed to have been massive for West Brom and have literally been the biggest part of their team going forward. Without their Fellows' assists and Maja's goals, they'd be absolutely nowhere compared to where they are. So I'd like to say it's straightforward for Boro. You know, cut out Fellows and his delivery, try and defend Josh Maja as much as possible, but then even then, John Swift's in behind, Grant's on the other side, so it's not just that easy from a Boro point of view, but obviously Fellows and Maja are the 2 key men, and that's where I think Boro are at our weakness. So that is a real pivotal part of both teams, and that's where I think the game could be won and lost for both. As for the Boro team, however, I think we could equally give them problems, and as I say, I feel like now that we've established our front 4, I feel like that's the front 4 we should go with. And in terms of Boro's 11, I'm kind of basing this off of the injuries we saw at the weekend, and still don't feel like this is the game he'll chuck Rav Vandenberg in. So knowing what I do about Boro's injuries, this is the lineup I'm going to go for. So Seny Dieng is in goal. I am going to go with Neto Borges on the left, although he needs to be very good defensively in this game, much better than what he was at Sunderland, otherwise we will be in trouble. The centre-back pairing, I am going to go with Edmondson and Luke Ayling with Dijksteel on the right. I would love it if Rav Vandenberg was able to come in to that right centre-back slot alongside Edmondson potentially, so we can move Ayling back onto the right-hand side, but I just know how careful Michael Carrick is with bringing back injured players, so I don't know if he'll chuck Rav straight in, so I'm going to err on the side of caution and put Ayling and Edmondson in the middle with Dijksteel on the right, as I say. Morris and Hackney will undoubtedly be in the midfield too, and I would be astounded if he changes anything with the front 4, which were just so much better at the weekend. Riley McGree has to be in there. He could be a difference maker again here. He helps out on that left-hand side so much. And obviously, that will have Azaz in the middle. Ben Doak has took that shirt from Isaiah Jones, and he will equally give the West Brom left-back just as many issues as Fellows will going the other way. And I think we will have Lattilath up front with Conway, of course, being injured. And I think from Boro's point of view, we need to probably focus on getting the ball into Lattilath. I feel like physicality-wise, as good as he is, going up against Ajayi and Bartley will be tough. So I think if we can get Lattilath in behind them both, I think he'll do them both for pace, 100%. And I think if we are going to put balls in the box, maybe keep them low, because Lath, as I say, will get in between. He'll get in behind both centre-backs. That's where I think we can really, really hurt them. I think physicality-wise, if you're asking Lath to jump and win headers and stuff like that and win aerial balls from high crosses up against Ajayi and Bartley, I think they'll have enough between them to deal with Lath, as much of a nuisance as he is. So there's certainly ways Boro can hurt West Brom. There's certainly ways West Brom can hurt Boro. So I feel like this game could come down to a moment of quality or a mistake or an individual error of some kind, because despite the difference in league position, the numbers show that there is nothing between both of these sides, both going forward and going backwards. It's in both boxes where I think they've just been so much better than us. So before my prediction, a quick look at the head-to-heads between both teams. So Boro, I didn't think, but actually do, have the edge over West Brom in the last couple of meetings. Going back to the last time Boro were in the Premier League, since 2016, Boro have actually had more wins than West Brom. West Brom have only had 3 wins against Boro, with 4 draws and 5 wins in Boro's favour. You look at the results between both teams, the home side often do have the edge in these games. You know, West Brom's record up at Boro isn't the best. Our record down at the Hawthorns isn't great either. And Boro haven't actually won at West Brom since 2019 in a 2-0 win under Jonathan Woodgate, which was that incredible win with the Ashley Fletcher goal from 40 yards out or whatever it was. Boro haven't won at West Brom since then, and our last 3 games at West Brom have been winless. We lost 2 of them at an aggregate score of 7-3. We lost last season 4-2 in the August, and we lost 2-0 there in the February before. So certainly in recent times we've not had much joy down at the Hawthorns at all. So my prediction for this one, now I said, and I don't know if this will go up before my championship prediction video, so I'm wary of possibly being inconsistent and giving a different prediction in that to what I'm going to give in this, because I have leaned towards a draw in this game. I'd be really shocked if we beat West Brom, I'll be honest. I just feel like at home they are just so strong, and I think they'll bounce back from their defeat at the weekend. So I think Boro winning is a massive outside shout, and I would snatch your hand off for a draw. But with my sort of neutral, logical hat on, I am going to go with the same prediction I went with in my championship prediction video, which may or may not have gone up yet. It probably hasn't, so spoilers. But I feel like, looking at both sides, they've been better than us in both boxes. And I feel like, as I say, this game will be decided on a moment of quality, a mistake, and simply put, which side of the two have made more mistakes this season? Which side of the two can you trust more to not make a mistake? Which side of the two can you trust more to take an opportunity when it presents itself? That team is West Brom. And I just feel like with Fellows and Maja feeling like a bit of an inevitable combination right now, it pains me to say that my prediction is West Brom 2, Boro 1. I do predict Boro to lose. And listen, there's loads of positives that Boro can take from the Stoke game at the weekend, but I don't feel like there's enough yet for me to really back Boro to put together a consistent run of games, because we thought post-Cardiff that was the turning point and we didn't capitalise on it. So it's more hopeful than anything that we'll capitalise on beating Stoke by going to West Brom and getting a result. And as I say, I'd snap your hand off for a draw. A win would be result of the season by far, but I just feel like West Brom is such a good team. Our record away recently at their place has not been good, and that has been up against Carlos Corberán. So I am going to take my Boro bias, and I'm going to put a neutral, logical hat on and say West Brom will win by 2-1. But let me know your prediction in the comment section below, whether you are a Boro fan, West Brom fan, one of the two, neutral, whatever. Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, if you've enjoyed this video on the YouTube channel, hit a like on the video and subscribe for more. And if you are listening over on the podcast provider, give me a like, a rating and a follow over there too. And I will be back with a Project Boro reviewing show of this game after Tuesday, probably dropping at some point on Wednesday, and that will be it from me. I don't think I'll get time to preview the Watford game before the weekend, as I do head away on holiday on Friday, so I probably won't be covering the Watford game whatsoever. ever. So fingers crossed we get a result here, because I will not be around to see if we do or not against Watford. But to be fair, I was on holiday last season for when we went to Watford, and we won that time, so hopefully we'll win again. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Fingers crossed for a good result on Tuesday night for Boro, although I am just being a little bit cautious on that. But until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching. Fingers crossed we do the job on Tuesday night. And until then, I'll see you all in the next one.